you guys. Well, I didn't expect to do a Next Gen NYC video this soon, but so much tea dropped, I kind of had to. Let me take you through some of the bombs that came out this week regarding that show and the people on it. So let's start with the fact that I was an Ariana Bierman fan on Next Gen NYC, but then I started to feel like, am I being snowed a little bit here by the Zolciak family again? God, they're so good at it. I'll explain why. Also, there will be time codes in the description of this one because there's quite a lot of topics. So in the Dishing Drama Dana Patreon chat, I wrote this the other day during Watch What Happens Live. It's like my notes. And what really stood out to me was that Kim Zolciak kind of seemingly lied on multiple fronts, which was really bizarre. Let me read you my note, and then I'm going to explain it better. Oh my God, Kim Zolciak on Watch What Happens Live said she paid back Ariana her money for bills, but you could tell it wasn't true from Ariana's face. She threw in that whatever she owed, she'll pay back. She then lied that she didn't take Brielle's money except for a few bills, but Brielle said she did on TV, so she lied again. Kim said the rug was pulled out from under her, and that's why she got the divorce. She said she couldn't pay bills, but she was posting she was rich at the time. More lies. Also, she said she knew Hudson's parents for 20 years, but that doesn't match Ariana's story she said on Gia's show about how they met. This family is still making shit up about everything. She's also dating someone and in a new house. I'm sure he's paying for it. Well, let's start with what's kind of odd about Ariana's version of meeting Hudson and then Kim saying that she knew the family for 20 years. All right, so here's what you need to know before I play it for you. Kim Zolciak said over and over on Watch What Happens Live, I love Hudson. I love Hudson. Ariana and him broke up a few times, but, love prevailed and they stayed together all this time. And it's really sweet and romantic. And, she sent something to remind them of this. I forgot. It was something like that. But the big whopper that really jumped out at me is she said, I've known Hudson's parents for 20 years. Now, she didn't need to offer that. I think she overtalked. And it doesn't totally jive, I don't think, with this story. You tell me.
My sister saw him on the beach when we were 14 and we were in Florida and she saw him on the beach and she was like, oh my God, I need to get your Snapchat and take a picture of you. You'd be the love of my sister's life.
I'm sorry.
Wait, but he also was from Atlanta and grew up near you?
Yeah.
But you didn't know each other?
No.
She just felt it from his energy.
Yeah, she looked at him. He has the brightest blue eyes in the whole entire world and that's like melts me. And he had this long lion-like hair. She called him like a lion. His hair was like so big and curly into like here. And she was like, oh, my sister would literally fall in love with you. And then she gave me his Snapchat or whatever. And we talked on Snapchat and I was actually ended up getting grounded for a whole year for sneaking out of my house. And my parents didn't let me have a life. So I was like, I got to have a life somehow, right? But my sister took me on my birthday for like my birthday present on my first date with him after we'd been talking for like 6 months over Snapchat.
So cute.
On my
birthday
present, Avalon actually, and it's this mall in Atlanta or whatever, and it was like up like brand new at the time. And we went there, and she like took us on a date, and then we kind of walked around together. And this story is funny because when we were 14, we were walking through this hallway, and he like put his hand up against the wall and got really close to my face and acted like he was going to kiss me and was like, not yet, I'm going to save it. And the other day when we were in Atlanta, we were going through a little tiffy and he brought me back to that same spot. And he was like, we're going to fix this. It doesn't matter. We're going to make it through anything. I love you. I'm sorry I'm a shithead sometimes. And it was really sweet. And he has like the coordinates of that moment when we were 14 tattooed on him.
Now, Hudson is of the Zaxby fortune, right? The big wealthy family in Atlanta, very well known. And I mean, I kind of took it to think that Kim Zolciak being famous too, like they really knew each other. Plus his brother was on reality TV for a while before he was. So I'm like, I feel like Kim Zolciak knew this family and these kids, and what she was saying was accurate. Ariana's story almost makes it like she's never heard of them. She didn't know them from Jack. Who's this kid? Oh my God. I mean, could they be this disconnected? Now, Brielle Bierman has taken to social media, I think even on her new TV show, she might have mentioned this, and Ariana has confirmed that Brielle Bierman also gave all her money to her mom. And her mom took it. So, here you go. She went on to say that Zolciak 47 had also borrowed money from her older sister, Brielle Bierman. But I think Brielle said that her mom took her money too. And I'm wondering if bills means gambling debt. Now, what really got me, though, was Kim saying that she's using her daughter's money to pay the bills, but all that time she was on social media trying to pretend like she was rich and loaded and nothing was changing. And oh, by the way, her house wasn't in foreclosure. And how dare everybody say that she's leaving her house? And she was like, screw you, see, I'm still in here and all this stuff. I mean, it was like Delulu. So she's living in Cobb County now in a gorgeous brand new house. High ceilings, walk-in shower, new kitchen, and she's supposedly just dating a regular Joe. What do you guys think about that? Anyway, it begs the question, how is she affording to rent this place? Okay, so meanwhile, Gia Giudice appears on Watch What Happens Live with Brooks and Amira. Here's the highlight of that one. She drags Melissa Gorga constantly the whole time she's on the show, so obviously nothing has been repaired there. She says that the family members that have come on her podcast, she's happy she made amends with. She apologized to the fans for the way that she handled the season, being kind of motherly and getting in everybody's business. And I think she was really apologizing more for letting the fans down because they expected, I think, a lot more from her, and she didn't bring it. She said that she's not used to being the primary character and she kind of was backseating it to everybody like she would on Housewives, and that was a mistake, and she hopes to rectify that. Telling Andy, I guess, maybe he would petition for her. Andy's supportive to Gia. He says, you have a lot of introspection on your, part on the show, and that's more than I saw from your mother the whole time she was on New Jersey. And then he was like, oh, but I don't mean to shade Teresa. But you did. And then we see some other juice, which is that Charlie Zakor has quit the Next Gen NYC cast chat, implying he may be quitting the show. Oh, most important, Georgia and Charlie are no longer roommates. Brooks also confirms that although it appears that he's focusing more on his brand, which I showed you in last week's video at the end, he is still working for his mom, Meredith Marks. Amira didn't say much, but she did bring up Omar's gossip again about the SEC, and she said that the Reddit gossip essentially about Charlie not wanting the new Bravo kids to be on the show was true. But we already knew that from Georgia because she spilled that tea before Amira did. So Riley's sister took to social media to say that her scene where she was sticking up for her sister got cut, and an influencer, put this really nice presentation together. I'm going to share it with you. You'll see who it is and everything on there. But I wanted to say that I've had this happen to me. If you guys remember on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 2, I'm sticking up for Taylor. You can hear me screaming in the background. If my friend said it, it happened about Taylor's abuse because the producers wanted to have the storyline be whether or not you believed Taylor Armstrong was being abused by Russell or not. True story. And of course, the position I would have on that. And so there was a scene where I was like making a huge thing to the women, like, how can you even be saying what you're saying? And I'm screaming. Well, they cut that all out, and then they let a little tiny bit exist, and they used a different shot, so I'm way in the background, but you can hear me screaming. And because they probably were desperate, they couldn't piece the scene together without at least showing that, because I was in the background. But I know what it's like to be cut out. Now, remember, Alex Baskin said he intentionally cut me more and more out of the show. You don't know that story. I'll DM me and maybe I'll do a video about it. But yeah, Alex Baskin intentionally, after a few episodes, started cutting me out of the show. Here's the clip.
I want to say one thing. I just think it's so funny that the Next Gen NYC, they edit so much. They do that in shows in general, which I hate that. Like, that's part of the reason why I don't like the TV stuff. But I was there the last episode, and I went up there to defend my sister, period. But of course, that was cut. Why was that cut? I have no clue. But I did defend my sister, y'all. I got time. I really don't. But yeah, they took that out last episode.
Dylan and I are talking to these two girls, and she goes up to one and is like, yo, like, you think it's cool to just be here with Charlie but not come up and like make sure it's cool?
I did not do that.
Yes,
that
you
is
kind
a
of
lie. Sylvia, nice to meet you. Sorry, I love when my friends' girls ask my name. I'm his friend. We should be nice. I went up and I said, hey, I'm Riley. You didn't say anything. You didn't introduce yourself.
Yeah,
So
that was the attitude. It was like.
wait, but also Charlie, the
By the way,
girl
she handled it well. She was like.
Who handled it well?
The girl. No, I'm saying the girl handled it well.
All night, these girls never introduced herself. It was odd. It was
But Riley didn't introduce herself either. I didn't see her go up and say, hey, nice to meet you. First thing she said was accosting her. Like.
Wait, Riley, are you okay? I'm just so mad because every single time y'all do this. Wait, what? Are you okay? I'm trying not to make it a thing, but I hate when you guys try to play this like I'm scared. You're like,
I guess all the reality producers do the same thing. And on the note of Alex Baskin, and look at this, Alex is really being dragged by the fans regarding his involvement with the Valley. I thought I'd throw this in this video, return the favor. If Brittany does have a video evidence of Jax pushing her into bushes and Alex Baskin saw said video, for his response was to send Jax to rehab and not immediately fire him, is unacceptable. He set a dangerous precedent and should resign as executive producer of the Valley. Well, we all know that they were covering up quite a few allegations of abuse behind the scenes to protect some of the talent of that show. Allegedly. Now, Omar's ex-girlfriend did more videos. I'm going to edit them together now for you so you could see them.
So just going to tell you guys a little bit about Dubai, and hopefully all of this makes him treat women better in the future. If he doesn't want a crazy ex-girlfriend going on TikTok, don't treat them like shit. So he gets a phone call and is like, oh, we need to extend our trip and we need to go to Dubai for a few weeks. So I'm like, okay. So we go to Dubai, we party a bit there. And then one morning he's like, Shannon, I need you to go to OTC with your passport and we need you to get some money for us. And I'm like, okay, interesting. Like, why do we need to use my passport? But whatever. This was like a very cash heavy portion of our relationship because people weren't very established yet, I think. I don't know. But so anyways, he sends me to OTC. It's this place in Dubai where you can do like a conversion of you give them your crypto and they give you cash. And so this security meets me at the bottom of this building, takes me up to the top, and I'm there. And then he sends me his wallet address, and and he sends me there with a duffel bag. So I'm like, how much money am I getting? What is this? And so this man, I give him the wallet address, and he gives me $50,000 of cash. And so I'm just shoving it in this bag. I'm like, okay, this feels weird, but it's legal. This is a thing there. And so I come back with this money and I learn how to count cash and do money conversions. And so we do that. And then this essentially ends up being some of the money that we strap to girls. So fast forward really quick, we go back to Barcelona. They want to keep this money in Europe. They don't want to bring it to the US, and you can't travel with more than $10,000 a person. Again, all staying legal. And so we fly these girls in, or they fly these girls in to Barcelona, and then they give them each some of the cash, and then they fly them out to different safes in different countries for that cash to now have a new home. So that was an interesting operation. Yeah. Okay, so back to Dubai, whatever. The money's in the duffel bag, not dealing with that now. So there's this big dinner, this big important dinner where he wanted to impress this investor. And so we all go. I'm with his assistants, some other people in his company, and we all show up at this dinner, and it's at the Billionaires Club at the Taj Mahal, Dubai. And we're at the head table. We have 10 different servers serving us. There's 15 bottles of Dom. You know, it's a party. Like there's different plates of food, there's shots, there's champagne, there's dancing. You know, it's just like one big giant party. Very fun night that turned disastrous. So all these pretty girls start coming over to the table. Use your imagination as to what that is. And they think it's fun and cool getting all this attention. Well, it like absolutely bit them in the ass. So it's time to now pay for this table. And this man who had all the cash in this like Versace fanny pack, like had like 70 grand on him, the girls that came to the table stole it. So now no one has money to pay for this table. They take this man back kitchen and tie him to a chair and start kicking his ass until we all get money. So now like oh my God, I'll never forget this. Like people are trying to figure out like how to go to ATMs, how are we gonna get this money, like all this stuff. Like it was crazy. It was so bad. It was so bad. So they're holding him as like collateral or hostage. They're holding him as collateral. So other people in the company are figuring out how to get this cash, right? So I'm now leaving to go with his assistants to our hotel. And it was like this big bad thing. There was this big fight. I'm not going to get into it. There was some bad stuff on my end, but horrible stuff on his end. We get in this fight. I leave with his assistants. We take this bag with us. We're thinking it's one of our shopping bags. It wasn't. It was some very important rich person's divorce papers that were in this bag. And so they are well known enough in Dubai that they're able to track us down and find out like where we are. So all of a sudden we're in this car, all our seatbelts lock, our doors lock, we can't get out. We're sitting in this car, we can't get out. We're like, what's going on? What's going on? Like we're trying to call people for like to find out what's going on, but no one's answering us because they're dealing with the guy that's tied to the chair in the kitchen getting his ass kicked until someone figures out how to get the money. So finally someone gets a hold of us, like his other assistant gets a hold of us and is like, okay, like gets us to this parking lot where we can do a handoff and like give this scary man his divorce papers. And then I'm forbidden from going back to our hotel room, our villa, because like he's so mad at me. And so I go to his assistant's hotel room and it's not good. This is where things get fucked up. So me and this girl are now like locked in this hotel room and like my phone is broken, her phone is broken. We have like no way of communicating with the outside world. Like we're screaming like help, we're banging on this door for hours. We're literally locked in this hotel room because he refused to pay for this room. And like we didn't have a way to pay either. We didn't have any of our stuff. And so he refused to pay. He said, fuck that, fuck them, like screw them, like send her home. He's like telling some girl to like pack all my shit up and get me out of there and get me out of his villa, which is like 20-30 minutes away from where we are. So it was really scary. We were literally like locked inside this room because he was like refusing to pay. There was no way to communicate with anyone. Thank God. I'm not going to mention any names, so someone save us. And then finally this other guy, they untied him from the chair. Somehow the company found money and this guy like was in bad condition, but they got him out. And so we're now still literally almost being held hostage in this hotel room until someone pays, and he refused to. So he's like, keep him there, keep him locked in. Like he was so mad and pissed off, and like this is how he acted. And so finally, like after like 4 hours or something, we're able to get out of this room. Like someone paid it or someone did something. And so they then bring me back to his villa, and he's like not talking to me again. Like we were in a fight, so like I understand him not talking to me, but the way that he treated me was absolutely insane. Like, don't leave me locked in a hotel room, don't leave, like, and then he didn't speak to me for 2 days, and I had no form of communication. I was like, can I like use your phone, can I have help? And he was like, don't fucking talk to me. And so for 2 days I had no way of like communicating with my family. I had my best friend like on the phone with like Dubai AT&T trying to like find me a phone. It's like, it's a very challenging thing to do out there if you don't have the right phone plan. And so it was just so shitty. Like he literally left me like with no form of communication and like would not help me, didn't talk to me for 2 days. And like, again, I understand people being mad from a fight, but like to like leave someone locked in a hotel room, to not care that someone like was locked in a car, their seatbelt locked, everything, doing an exchange in a parking lot with some like scary person in Dubai for their like divorce papers. Like, it was just like, and then to threaten to have all my stuff packed up and shipped out. Like, I don't know. When I heard that shit with Georgia, I was like, oh, wow, I experienced something a little similar. So, yeah, that was some crazy stuff in Dubai. Okay, so I was just about to go to bed, and I realized there's like one more little Dubai story. So we made up from the last trip. I don't even know how. We're still together, right? 2 months later, we go back to Dubai because there's this company he really wants to like partner with or like work with. He's super excited about it, that he finally gets to meet with them, and it's for this like DAO project or something like that. I don't know what it was. And so he meets with them, he has lunch with them. It's great. He comes back, he's like, let's celebrate, it went really well, we're gonna definitely partner up on this or whatever. And he's all excited. For 2 days later, 2 days after this lunch, an article comes out. Man fakes his own death, starts a new identity in Europe, is like hiding in Dubai with this crypto company, steals millions of dollars, and is discovered. That's the company that he met with literally 2 days prior. And like, I'm not saying like, I don't think he knew or anything. Like, he was just as surprised as everyone else. I'm just, and I know this isn't the relationship lore you wanted. I just wanted to illustrate how crazy the events were during the time we were together. Like, absolute insanity. Like, every other week there was something insane, and like a few weeks after this, there was something very crazy. So yeah, just thought I'd add that. Oh, and before anyone's like, oh, she's making it up, you can Google that last event. Like, type in some of those keywords, and that's a real thing that happened in crypto, and that was a real company that he met with in Dubai.
Well, if you want to know more about what she's talking about with the DAO crypto scandal, watch the video I did a few days ago. It has that in it and what people are saying about it. All right, you guys, on that note, I think we're caught up on the good stuff, except Ariane has been dragging Ava on her social media. Thanks, you guys, for liking my videos. I saw the boost, and I did get more views because you popped me on the homepage. Thank you.